Hello and welcome to County Perspective, the show that focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the community that you live in. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining us. Now let's jump right in with some news from around the county. Almost 4 months until the Maryland General Assembly is back in session, and Frederick County government is putting education at the top of the list of priorities that will go to Annapolis. County Executive Jan Gardner announced her list of priorities during her public information briefing that was held on Tuesday, September 24th. County Executive Gardner unveiled 2 initiatives that she plans to include in the county's legislative package. The topic of workforce housing has developed high importance in Frederick County. Executive Gardner will request a bill that will help to address affordable housing by expanding the state's renter's tax credit with the local tax credit to qualifying renters. Her second bill would increase the annual compensation of Board of Education members by $4,000 a year to $14,000. County Executive Gardner outlined requests from community organizations for items to include in the 2020 legislative package. If you would like to see the list of requests made to be included in the legislative package, visit frederickcountymd.gov/legislative. Now don't forget to come to the Town Hall meeting on Wednesday, October 9th at 7 p.m. in the first floor hearing room of Winchester Hall, so you can have a chance to give your input on the legislative package. Community members and dignitaries gathered next to Interstate 70 near Meadow Road for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new I-70 westbound ramp that took place on Tuesday, October 1st. The I-70 interchange near Newmarket was built in 1985 and was missing the I-70 westbound ramp until this month. It's unclear why the westbound ramp was not built decades ago. Residents and businesses in Newmarket, Lake Linganore and Oakdale, Spring Ridge and Imesville will greatly benefit from the new ramp. A collaboration and partnership between Frederick County government, State Highway, and Elm Street Development made it possible to initiate and complete the westbound ramp project. Elm Street Development paid for construction of the ramp, saving the county $48 million over time. The project would have been more expensive for the state or the county to build it. County officials, State Highway, and Elm Street Development predict that the new ramp will alleviate traffic from Route 144. Over 100 community members gathered at the JBK Theater at FCC on Thursday, September 26th, for a dementia presentation and a viewing of the film, What They Had. County Executive Jan Gardner announced that Frederick County has been accepted into the Dementia Friendly America program. The county had applied to be part of Dementia Friendly America in May of 2019. Frederick County will now work to educate the public about ways to support families touched by Alzheimer's and dementia and to promote meaningful participation. Frederick County is now partnered with AARP of Maryland, who covered the cost of the showing of the film and the event. Members from the Alzheimer's Association, AARP, and dementia advocates gave a panel presentation on Alzheimer's and dementia to spread awareness of the devastating disease. There are an estimated 3,700 people in Frederick County who suffer from dementia and other forms of Alzheimer's. The senior population continues to grow in Frederick County. Next year, there will be more residents over the age of 60 than school-aged children living in Frederick County. There will be more new firefighters protecting our community over the next year, and that's because Frederick County was recently awarded a grant to add more positions to the Division of Fire and Rescue Services. This $5.5 million grant comes as part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, or SAFER program. Let's hear from County Executive Jan Gardner to learn what this means for the citizens of Frederick County.
I have some exciting news to share. We just learned that Frederick County is the recipient of a $5.5 million federal SAFER grant, which will allow us to hire 38 new firefighters. These new positions will allow us to provide better response times, to reduce overtime, and to provide service in some volunteer companies that have asked for support. These dollars will really help us to accelerate the hiring of firefighters, which is really important to our growing community. We're very pleased to know that we received one of the largest grants in the country. We were actually the 8th largest grant nationally and the 2nd largest in the state of Maryland. So I want to thank our federal delegation who supported this grant because it's good news for public safety here in Frederick County.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We have plenty more coming up in County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Now in a bit, we'll find out about Frederick County Public Library's strategic plan, but first, let's head on over to the Animal Control Division and meet this episode's featured pet.
Looking for the perfect dog? Then look no further. FCAC has Scooby. Scooby is a 7 to 8-year-old pit bull mix who loves hanging out with people of all ages and gets along great with dogs of all sizes. Scooby is a gentle, happy-go-lucky guy. His biggest problem is his happy tail. It might knock some stuff off your coffee table. Visit Scooby at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, 1832 Rosemont Avenue.
Frederick County Public Libraries have a mission to facilitate the public's freedom to explore, to invent, and to transform by connecting people to ideas and to each other, helping to foster individual and community growth. And in order to seek their mission, they need a strategic plan to make it all come together. Let's take a look and find out how.
One way to think about a strategic plan is kind of like the goal for the organization, and so it helps us set priorities. So a lot of times our budgets are finite, and so we have to make decisions about where to allocate staff, time, and resources, and the strategic plan priorities help us make those decisions. So it is helpful to think of a strategic plan as kind of an aspirational goal for the work that we do. What we found is that the sweet spot for libraries strategic plans is about 3 years, and the reason why we know 3 years is a good number is because it kind of keeps pace with technological change and evolving needs of the community. So if we changed it more frequently, if we changed it annually, it wouldn't give staff the time to kind of develop programs of partnerships, and so 3 years is kind of a good amount of time, and then we work towards the goals of that plan, and then we create a new plan. So we do develop our collections and our programs and our partnerships with the mission and the strategic plan priorities in mind. And so, to dive in a little bit deeper about what those are. So our mission is that we connect people to ideas and to each other to foster community and individual growth. And so that's kind of the overarching mission. And then within a 3-year period, we're entering our new strategic plan. Our new strategic plan priorities are that we're going to simplify access, we're going to build bridges, and we're going to spark excitement. And so, as we're looking at partnerships, as we're looking at evolving services, as we're developing programs, all of those things are with those priorities in mind. And so, one of the things that our board just approved was that starting October 1st, we're no longer going to charge fines on materials from the children's department. So that can be, whether a parent is checking out a book on their card or whether a child is checking out a book from that department. They're still going to be responsible for renewing the item, and when after the item is out for 45 days, it gets set to loss, and so a replacement cost could be incurred. But we're not going to charge fines on children's materials, and we think that that's going to, our 3 priorities of our plan: simplify access. It's going to definitely simplify access. It's going to help build bridges within the community and to the community and the underserved folks for whom fines are a barrier, or even the fear of fines is a barrier. And then last is going to spark excitement. There are a lot of people who want to use these materials that for whatever reason felt like they were left out because of the potential threat of fines. And so knowing that they have improved access is going to allow us to hit every pillar of our new strategic plan. the community can learn more about our strategic plan and the priorities of that plan, any information about fines or decisions of our board by visiting our website at fcpl.org.
Well, fall is officially here, but just because the summer's over doesn't mean there isn't plenty going on in your community. There are a plethora of events, programs, classes, and promotions offered by county departments to keep you from falling into boredom. Here's a look at just a few of them. To find more events and programs, or for more information, log on to the county's webpage at frederickcountymd.gov. Now, before you go, we would like to let you know about a few upcoming events that an engaged citizen like yourself will want to keep an eye out for in the next few weeks. You're invited to Winchester Hall on Friday, October 18th at 8:30 a.m. for the State of the County Address. Since County Executive Gardner was appointed County Executive in 2015, she has been holding the State of the County Address so the community can hear about the great things happening in Frederick County. If you can't make it to Winchester Hall on the 18th, catch the State of the County Address live on FCG-TV, Channel 19, and HD Channel 1085, or web streamed at frederickcountymd.gov/FCG-TV. You're invited to come to Winchester Hall on Tuesday, October 29th for 2 Frederick at its Best proclamation ceremonies. At 11 a.m., the men and women who have served our nation in the military will be honored in advance of Veterans Day. Then at 11:30, October will be recognized as National Disability Employment Awareness Month. In 1945, Congress declared the first week in October as National Employed the Physically Handicapped Week. National Disability Employment Awareness Month celebrates the contributions of workers who are disabled, and the month spreads awareness on the value of a workforce inclusive of their skills and talents. Right here in Frederick County, including Frederick County government, employers are hiring employees who have disabilities. If you would like more information, visit dol.gov. The 12th Annual Frederick Community Health Fair will be back at the Frederick Fairgrounds from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 26th, hosted by the Asian American Center of Frederick and sponsored in part by Frederick County government. Participants will be able to learn about medical services and undergo free medical consultations, mental health examinations, and health screenings such as hearing and vision, and more. Medical professionals from Frederick Memorial Hospital will be available on site. Last year, the health fair had more than 1,000 participants and over 70 exhibitors. The Asian American Center of Frederick is seeking volunteers for the event. If you would like to sign up to volunteer, contact volunteers at aacfmd.org or call the office at 301-694-3355. Well, that's it for this episode of County Perspective, but don't forget to follow Frederick County on social media in order to keep up to date on important news and events. We'll see you next time for a fresh look from a county perspective.